Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Exotic Wine Travel. I'm your host, Matthew Horkey. We're here at Chateau Mukhrani in the Republic of Georgia in the Kartli region, and I have a very special guest. I'm really excited. Got a chance to meet this guy. We're at the United Nations Wine Tourism Conference, and I got a chance to meet somebody that I've been reading for a long time. Shireen actually, we forgot to tell you that the reason that we are here is because Shireen found your announcement on your Facebook about this conference. So the guest on his website. So the guest I have today runs the Wine Economist. Written the books that I've recently written are Wine Wars. He has another book coming up called Around the World in 80 Wines. We'll put them in the description box. And then the other book is...
I've got Extreme Wines.
Yep.
And then Money, Taste, and Wine. It's complicated.
Well, I have Professor Mike Veseth. So thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you, Matt. A pleasure to be here.
Tell me, what is the Wine Economist?
Oh, well, it's hard to know, but people say that it's a wine blog. And I always used to say that it's not a wine blog. It's just a place where I publish columns on the web. But then last year, it actually won an award for the world's best wine blog. So it's a wine blog. I think it must be a wine blog. So.
And I can relate 100% when people say, are you wine bloggers? I say, no. Okay, fine, if that's what you want to say.
That's right, yeah, whatever you like, yeah.
So what kind of, because your focus is real different, what do you focus on in terms of writing there?
Yeah, so I'm an economist in part, so I approach things as an economist does, and often I will talk about the business of wine. I've never published a rating. I've never said a wine is an 88 or a 90 or something. Sometimes, though, I will give sort of a personal tasting note. But what I try to do is that people in wine tend to think of wine in very orthodox ways, and what I try to do is connect something about wine to something else in their life, for example. And so if they're thinking about, well, what's happening with this wine, I think, well, what's happening in the world of food? And can what's happening with food tell us about wine? Or recently I've done a number of columns about craft beer and craft spirits. And I say, well, craft beer, a brewery, they can make 12 different seasonal beers all year long. Isn't that a lot more interesting than making the same wine all the time? Shouldn't we try to provide that variety and stimulation? So thinking outside the bottle.
Okay, you're very, very, that's why I actually really enjoy reading his website. So you're here in the Republic of Georgia. We're here for the United Nations World Tourism Conference. What is in terms of the lens that you see the world, what do you see for the Republic of Georgia so far?
Oh, so Georgia is a very interesting place, of course, because it is the cradle of wine, and it is, and so it's the World Tourism Organization, UN, is bringing the global spotlight on, come here, this is the Secretary General.
Yeah, there we go.
World Tourism Organization.
Nice to meet you.
And so this is the man who is helping us to put the global spotlight on Georgia as a wine-producing country, but as a tourist destination, and to help us enrich ourselves about wine tourism and life and connect each other. Is that roughly what you say?
You're doing that. We're only facilitators here. No, you're right. I think we're in the right time, the right place and the right time. Absolutely. This is where it all began. And this is where you find the accumulative experience of 8,000 years of winemaking, non-interrupted. I've never seen an experience that I'm very delighted to see, a forum and a conference and a meeting of this forum. People are relaxed, people are enjoying their time, and at the same time they're benefiting from each other's experience. It's a combination of coming to do work and being a tourist at the same time.
Yeah, there's tremendous sharing here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now I understand that when the idea for this conference came, that it had to be in Georgia, the birthplace of wine.
Absolutely, there was no question that we have to start with Georgia. This is where it all started after all, isn't it?
And then who knows where it will go?
Yeah.
Well,
we'll know
Mendoza next year, yeah.
That's where it's at next year?
By the end of the day, yes.
Yeah.
No, but thank you so much. I enjoyed your presentation yesterday.
Thank you. I enjoyed your remarks as well.
Content and style.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time. Thanks for being on the show. Even though you didn't know. So that was awesome. That was exciting.
That was completely unplanned.
We don't
unscripted.
We don't edit here, so it's a. But can you give me again? We'll go into depth. Like what else you see for the Republic of Georgia?
Oh, sure.
Here?
No, I mean Georgia is at an interesting time because that transition. Because on the one hand, as I see the wine part of it, this is a place where the traditions of making wine from centuries ago have been preserved, and this isn't always the case around the world.
Yeah.
So, what's quite fascinating is when we look at the traditional way of making wine here, this is how in Italy and in California and in France, this is how people are experimenting with making new wines.
Yeah.
So the wines here, traditional wines, are made in clay pots buried in the ground, and the local makers of those pots are now exporting their technology to France and to California and all around the world. So people are coming back to the future of wine.
Yeah, if you watch our channel, that you see that we found wine made in amphora all over the world. I mean, in Georgia it's called Quavery. So I appreciate your insight. Thank you so much. So we're going to put your books in the description box.
Oh, great.
But we can find you at the
Wineeconomist.com.
Yep. Professor,
All
thank
right,
you
thank
so
you.
much for being a part of the show. Guys, if you like this video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Exotic Wine Travel. I will see you at the next episode.